What's up, my Beardos and Weirdos? Today we're diving again into r/ProRevenge. Crazy popular video series that I'm currently making, and I'm really appreciating everyone commenting in and letting me know what you think and letting me know your stories. The first story is about someone who decides they won't pay for work, then decides to demand the work for less pay. The second story is about a real estate agent who tries to change the property lines to steal money from new residents. Let's dive right in. You won the work. No, you didn't. Help me. I was told by some people over at r/choosingbeggars you might like this one. Original post here. I worked for an events hire company. We supplied everything from AV to display stands, fencing, staging, etc. So I worked with an organizer that was looking to host a beers and wines festival, had multiple meetings, and provided far too many quotes and prices, but eventually it paid off and signed off to work with us. Fast forward about 2 weeks later. I have had little contact from her, which was very unusual. Out of the blue, she emails me, saying that they had found a cheaper supplier, almost half the price, and that we were ripping her off, and if we didn't void the contract and return the deposit, she would take legal action. Our prices were very fair and competitive with our main competition, so this didn't really make sense at all why it would be so insanely cheap. I've had this before, and in my experience, it's just best to let these organizers go, rip up the contract, and return the deposit. If you force them to work with you, it becomes an absolute nightmare, and just isn't worth it in the long run, as you work with these people for months leading up to the event. The event was still quite a while away as well, so I was confident I could fill in the spot with another. Anyway, it is now the 3 days before the festival opens, and I get a call from our story CB. CB equals organizer, me equals me. CB.
Me! You have to help me! It's CB!
Me. Sure. What's up?
The supplier has arrived to install, and the equipment is unusable! The marquees are ripped, displays can barely stand up, they didn't bring any AV! This is a disaster!
Me. Okay, so before I go back to my team, are you needing everything we quoted you right now?
Yes, everything!
I go back to my team, and although we had a bid on, we agreed we could supply what she needed in time. But would naturally need to charge premium because it was late as fuse and meant serious overtime. We didn't want to do it, but pulling her out of the shiz would have made waves in our industry and bound to get good words in the right ears due to the festival's size. So I called back CB. Me. CB, I have great news. We can get down there later this afternoon and we will work non-stop over the next 2 days to get this done for you. CB.
You are a lifesaver! Thank you all so much!
Me. Now, we will require 90% upfront payment, and you can pay the remaining 10% after your install is complete. I'll send you an invoice now, but please know the invoice will be a larger amount than before, approximately 30% due to overtime and just being late. Pretty standard for an event this size. Guess how the mood turns now.
But we had a contract. We have a set amount. You need to honor that.
Me. You made us rip it up and threaten lawsuit if we made you stick to it. Those are the prices. No other company in this city would be able to deliver what you're asking for at this late notice regardless. The price is the price. You can take it or leave it.
This is crazy! We had a contract!
Throw some nasty words my way, how we are useless and going to get sued. Me. You have 2 hours to let me know if you want to move ahead. Otherwise, the stock will not be available. Goodbye. She never called back and went ahead with the other supplier. The festival was a disaster. She had also charged independent mobile food vendors and retailers to be at this festival and charged them premium for each spot. The vendors constantly lost power, water, and had zero support during the show, so they naturally took her to court for their money back as they lost money attending the festival. She had to pay back all the businesses that had purchased a spot at the festival through the court order and lost her business, then tried to sue us and blame us for the whole catastrophe, but it didn't go far. Before you say it's sad she lost her livelihood, firstly, she should have canned that event there and then. It doesn't take an organizer to see this was in no way going to be successful. Secondly, we found out through industry people that she had done this before, but got away with it, so fuse her. She tried to personally sue me as well, which didn't go far either, but still wasted a lot of my time. Oh, I like the first comment on this.
Ooh, not only pro-revenge, but a hefty dose of r/malicious compliance.
What a good story. Yeah, this is definitely pro-revenge. You had a deal. She broke that deal. came back and said, I definitely need you to fulfill what I need immediately. And you said, okay, not a problem. Immediately cost extra, here it is. And she went, no, I'm pretty sure you should just do it for less. Good for you for sticking your ground. Good for your team for being willing to get your back no matter what. That's awesome. That shows real leadership and commitment at your company. So clearly you're doing something right here. It's a shame she lost her company, but if that's how she was running it, chances are it didn't deserve to be successful. Good on you, OP. And great story. Really well formatted too. Thanks for writing this. Scam us for 250,000 euro? We will ruin your life. Disclaimer, I am fairly new to Reddit in general, so please keep that in mind when reading this. It may also seem like I am bragging in this story at times, but this is not the intent, and it is all important information. Also, English is not my first language. So this is a story that my mother and father recently told me about, and I thought I should post it here. I was between the ages of 6 and 10 at the time, so this is their version of the events. This story turned out to be longer than I planned, so buckle up. Scammer, SC. In 2006, my parents bought a plot of land in a very rich town near the coast. As this was a rich town, the town itself was quite small, and the price of land was abnormally high, easily twice that of the average in my country. The plot of land was located in the middle of the village where previously something else had been. I believe greenhouses, but it was removed and 25 plots of land were made available to purchase to build houses on. When my family bought this plot, it said in the contract that they were buying 1,050 square meters of land. Upon further inspection, they found out that they only received 1,030 square meters of land. This was especially crappy because there were poles in the ground which marked each plot, and my father had actually measured whether they were receiving the right amount of land before they signed the contract. But the real estate agent that sold the plots, SC, had gone back in the middle of the night and placed the poles in the actual right position and kept the old, larger amount of plot in the contract. Now my parents had paid for 20 square meters more than what they received, and the price of the land being about 500 euro per square meter, this amounted to 10,000 euro easily. My parents proceeded to contact SC and were simply told that small mistakes like this can happen and everything has been accounted for in the contract we signed, which is a way of saying that the contract allowed for mistakes like this and they were not getting their money back. My parents then considered legal action, but were told that the margin of mistake was too small to get a lawsuit off the ground and thus decided to move on. 2 years later, the house is finished. My family moves in and we start to socialize with the neighbors. A few parties were thrown because the street was now finished with the project of building all houses and everybody wanted to meet their new neighbors. At one of these parties, the topic of construction comes up. Most people didn't encounter big problems, but one neighbor complained about how he had to move his house because the plot he was given was smaller than the plot indicated in the contract he signed, and how it had cost him a lot of money. Other neighbors then looked surprised and said they also received less land than indicated in the contract. It turned out SC had pulled the same trick with everyone in the street, giving them exactly 20 square meters less. As there were 25 plots in the streets, this meant the amount he stole was 250,000 euro. Everybody in the street was livid when they realized this, so the entire street decided to get back at him. This is where the fun begins. Did I mention this was a small town? Well, that meant that everyone knew each other, and that nothing exciting happened normally. A new street being finished was thus a daily topic for at least the next 2 months. So everybody in my street started talking about their new houses and would occasionally drop the fact about how SC had practically stolen a lot of money from them and their neighbors. This was of course told over and over again until the entire village knew these allegations, and being a small town, juicy rumors like this last for what seemed like forever. SC knew this, so he contacted pretty much everybody living in our street, begging us to stop talking about it, threatening us with legal action, etc. He never offered to give the money back though. Not that it would have mattered. Everybody had already cut their losses and just wanted revenge at this point. So, SC was avoided on the street. He also lived in the town. Lost many clients and money, etc. Although he still made enough money to live in the town. But the big blow had yet to come. The town council and mayor were quite satisfied with the fact that the plots of land were sold so quickly, and that the houses that were built looked so beautiful. They decided to make another plot of land available for another 3 streets with 70 plus plots of land in total. Needless to say, every real estate agent from the surrounding area wanted to be the one to broker these plots. Initially, SC was the one who was appointed to do this. However, many people in the community reached out to the council and mayor, telling them to please reconsider their choice of appointing SC. The council and the mayor were skeptical at first. because they didn't know whether these rumors were true or not, and they trusted SC, as the last project went so well. However, a few neighbors had friends who were members of the town council, and they confirmed the rumors to be true. This eventually meant that SC was removed from the project. Being removed from such a big project was a huge red flag for everyone looking for a real estate agent, so eventually he stopped receiving clients. 2 years after we had moved in, he had moved out of town because of debts. His wife had also divorced him, and he lost the custody battle of their daughter. Edit. Wow, this really blew up. Thank you all for the support. Now, FAQ. Why didn't your parents go to court or the town council? Satellites were not used to measure the land yet, so at the time a small margin of error was permitted when measuring such a plot of land. Because it was only 20 square meters out of the 1,030, it only amounted to 2% of the property being measured wrong. The main issue, however, was that in the contract my parents signed with SC was a section which excluded SC from any blame if it turned out any measurement was done wrong. Yes, for some stupid reason, this is true. My parents went to find legal advice and were told that the case would be dismissed before it got to trial. So they sucked it up and moved on. Also, the town council was the one who initially made the plots of land available for SC to sell off. If a court case was brought against him, town council would have lost face. What they obviously didn't want to happen. They are the local politicians. Where did the additional land go/come from? In front of all the plots there is about 2 meters of land which is owned by the town itself. Because nothing was built yet, it was literally just dirt, mud, and a few rocks. SC put the poles slightly over the edge of the property in this land. It could have been an honest mistake, but he put the poles back in the middle of the night, refused to refund everyone in the street, and told them not to talk about it. So everyone just assumes that he did it on purpose. Wow, B. It's a shame that your parents and their neighbors didn't really get justice, but as you mentioned, they are reasonably well off. They were able to afford land in town, and 10,000 euros they were able to shrug off. Now, while in other countries that would be more than enough to take to a small claims court, especially as a class action suit representing multiple individuals, I'd say r/legal advice may have better information on this, but I'm reasonably sure that had all the neighbors got together, they would have been able to sue this individual. Especially if they had records of him contacting them, asking them not to talk to anyone about it. As it was done so consistently across multiple plots of land, I definitely think a case could have been formed on that. There are some comments to the story to that effect as well, but overall, well written. Good on your parents for finding some humor in it with their neighbors, being able to chat about it at parties and spreading rumors. It sounds like they had a lot of fun with it. Thanks for sharing that, OP. Alright, my Beardos and Weirdos, that was r/ProRevenge. Thank you again for checking out these videos, and hey to everyone that subscribed. It's awesome to see everyone that's jumping in recently. I really appreciate getting all the feedback and hearing from all of you, and really just creating these videos for fun. It's such a blast to make these for you, and let me know what you want to see next. All of these are based off of different requests I get in the comments, and my general guess as to what you'd like to see. So let me know what you think. Happy to I'll comment back to every single person that comments on this video, unless I don't get a chance to, but I'll really try. Alright, my Beardos and Weirdos, we'll see you in the next video, where we take it one topic at a time.